As I promised, from the red fort, we're going to talk about red flags. So I'm going to run you through 5 of the things that I look out for that sound alarm bells, and perhaps you might want to look out for when considering who you deal with, who you invest with, choosing JV partners, even choosing mentors as well, actually. And it's 3 P's and an LT. So point 1, pressure. Now this can be time pressure or emotional pressure. So time pressure is, that level of urgency. It's the run to the back of the room and sign today type of thing. You have to wonder if somebody's has your best interests at heart, if that's the type of pressure they're putting you on. Emotional pressure is kind of slightly different and can be more subtle. I said no to a deal with somebody that I'd really wanted to work with, actually, because time was ticking on and I hadn't got all the information that I wanted about this deal. And eventually they said, well, if we don't get this done, then so and this happens and so happens. And I felt manipulated kind of emotionally. I felt like I was being asked to put other people's emotional welfare ahead of what I wanted to do and the security around my money. So that, frankly, was a no-go for me. So that's the first P. The second P is payments. If you're the investor, you're the private investor putting money in a deal, then what you are bringing to the deal probably is the cash. But what is the person that you're dealing with bringing? Have they got something to lose? Yes, they'll be bringing their time, their expertise. They might be kind of for actually doing the day-to-day work on the project. But what else is there? If you want to be in a position where it's difficult for both parties really to walk away, that ensures that you're both aligned, you're both heading in the same direction, you have the same goal, and you both want to achieve the same outcome. If one of you can walk away really easily without, much implication, then I really have to question that. Third P for me is priority. And this comes in a number of ways also. Do they want you to use their agreement? Which sometimes that's appropriate. But is that agreement then heavily skewed in their favour? It's definitely always get someone to check your agreements and your legal agreements. Also for me as an investor, it's the priority here comes to more about payments. When there is money to be paid out at the end of the deal, that profit share and that split of payments, who gets paid first? Or do you both get paid out equally? Or does the person putting the money in get paid out up to the capital that they've put in first, i.e. it's as de-risked as it can be, and then you're paid out equally after that? Think about that, because I think how things are prioritised says a lot about the way people kind of want to work with you. The fourth point, language. Now, this is a big one for me, and it's a really easy giveaway. If people are talking about, it's a guaranteed return, we just have to do this, it's going to be really quick, or it'll be so easy, it's a no-brainer. Those type of very emotive, overly, I guess, optimistic words, that they always ring alarm bells for me. Anybody who's achieved something in property will tell you this is not an easy game, and I think that's been borne out. Like Manji's Facebook Live this morning, that was fabulous. She gave us examples of how this is not an easy industry to be in. So be very mindful about that. And one particular example is springing to mind where somebody who's not done right by people made a real point about telling people how ethical he was. I'm really ethical. I'm so ethical. If you're ethical and ethical is at your core, do you really have to state that? Isn't that evidenced by how you behave, how you treat people? Isn't that evidence in what you do? And that all the people you've worked with previously will testify to. So somebody has to tell me they're ethical or they're trustworthy. That has the exact opposite intention for me of what they intend, the message they intend to portray with that. So watch out for that one. And then the last one is very similarly related. I call it the rose-tinted glasses syndrome. And this is obvious. If something's too good to be true, generally it is. So question everything, question assumptions, question numbers, question why we're doing that. I think sometimes, particularly for new people starting out, or if they're working with more experienced people, they don't like to be seen to be questioning. Just do it in an appealing way, help me learn, I'm trying to understand here. You don't necessarily want that to get them on the back foot, I understand that. But really, if they're not prepared if they want to work with you and they're not prepared to put in the time to educate you and get you up to speed, then you've chosen the wrong partner. So that is my 5 red flags from the Red Tower, and tomorrow is day 10. Woo!